Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about something super important. How do you turn all that amazing experience you've got into a real, official qualification? You know, the kind that can really open up new doors for you? Sound good? Okay, let's get right into it. So, does this sound like you? You are so good at what you do. I mean, you've got years of experience. You could probably do the job with your eyes closed, but you don't have that official piece of paper, that certificate to prove it. It can be so frustrating, right? Well, hang in there because there's absolutely a way to fix this. And that's the good news I wanted to share. There are actually two official ways to get the credit you deserve. And the best part? You don't have to go back to school for years and years. This is all about using the skills and knowledge you already have. All right, so path number one, this is called RCC, which is short for Recognition of Current Competence. So what is RCC? Well, it's all about the here and now. Think of it as a formal way of looking at your skills and what you know right now. This isn't about some course you took 10 years ago. Nope. It's about what you can do today and how that measures up to the official standards in your industry. So you might be wondering, is this for me? Well, it's perfect if you've got a ton of hands-on experience, but maybe not the formal qualification to back it up. Or hey, maybe you have an older certificate that needs an upgrade. The most important thing to remember with RCC is that you have to be able to show what you can do. It's very much a prove it kind of process. Okay, so that was RCC. Now let's check out the second option. This one's called RPL, or Recognition of Prior Learning. RPL is a little different. The key word here is prior. See, this one is all about looking at your past learning. It's about gathering up all that amazing knowledge you've collected over the years from all kinds of different experiences. So what does that actually look like? Well, RPL takes everything into account. We're talking formal classes, informal training, all that great on-the-job stuff. Your task is to kind of document that story. You'll probably put together a portfolio of your work and experience, and then you'll have what's called a competency conversation with an assessor to talk through it all. All right. We've looked at RCC, we've looked at RPL. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What is the real difference between them? Let's put them side by side. Okay, let's boil it down. RCC is all about proving what you can do. Right here, right now. It's a demonstration. And then you've got RPL. This one is all about proving what you have learned. It's about showing the evidence from your past. So if we're going to get super clear, what is the core focus of each one? What's the fundamental difference? And here it is, side by side. RCC is all about current competence. It's about what you can show an assessor right now. RPL is about prior learning. It's about the evidence you have from your past experiences. Really, it's the difference between demonstrating a skill versus documenting your knowledge. But, and this is really important, it's not always a strict either-or situation. These two are actually really closely related, and sometimes you can even use a bit of both to build the strongest case for your qualification. So they can definitely work together. Okay, so now you know the difference. The big question is, what's your next step? How do you figure out which path is the right one for you? Let's just quickly recap the main points. For RCC, think show me what you got. It's about demonstrating your practical skills now. For RPL, think, here's my evidence. It's about proving your past learning, and remember, both of these are totally legit ways to get credit towards a qualification, potentially saving you a whole lot of time and money. So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. What amazing skills and expertise do you already have right now that you're not getting official credit for? You know, that thing that could be your next big career move? It's definitely something worth thinking about.
So, think about all the skills you've picked up over the years. I'm not talking about in a classroom, but on the job, maybe through hobbies, or just from, life itself. What if all that real-world know-how could be turned into an official, nationally recognized qualification? Well, today we're going to dig into exactly that, how you can get the credit you've already earned. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why your experience is so valuable. Then we'll define exactly what this thing called RPL, or Recognition of Prior Learning, is. We'll unpack all the advantages, walk through the 3 main stages, help you figure out if it's the right move for you, and finally show you exactly how to get started.
All right, let's start with a problem that honestly holds way too many talented people back.
Does this sound familiar? You are a total pro at your job. You've got years of hard-won knowledge. But whenever a promotion or a new opportunity pops up, you get overlooked. All because you're missing that one little thing, a piece of paper. It is an incredibly frustrating spot to be in, for sure. But here's the game-changing idea. All that hands-on, real-world experience you have, it isn't just experience. Nope, it's actually a qualification that's just waiting to be recognized. You've already done the hard work, you've already done the learning, now it's just about getting the credit you absolutely deserve for it.
So, what's the solution? Well, there's a system designed to fix this exact problem.
And this is where Recognition of Prior Learning, or RPL, comes into play. You can think of it as an official pathway that takes all the stuff you've learned from work, self-study, or even your hobbies, and it measures it against the exact same national standards that are used in formal college programs.
Okay, so what actually counts as prior learning? You might be surprised by just how broad the definition really is. RPL looks at two main types of learning. First, you've got non-formal learning. These are the organized things you've done, like workshops or short courses. Then there's informal learning, and this is pretty much everything else. The skills you master on the job, the experience you get from volunteering, even the expertise from a serious hobby. It all counts.
And it's really crucial to understand this. It's not just about filling out a form. RPL is a structured assessment process.
And that process delivers a real, tangible result. We're talking about formal, official recognition of your skills.
So, what do you get at the end of all this? Well, there are two main outcomes. If you can show you're competent across all the required areas, you earn a full skills certificate. Boom! But let's say you're proficient in some areas but not others. You can still get what's called a record of achievements. And this is great, because it's not an all-or-nothing deal. You get credit for what you already know, and you get clear guidance on what you need to do to earn the full qualification down the road.
So the system is there. But what are the real-world advantages for you? Why should you even consider going through this process?
The advantages are huge. Seriously. First off, you get that formal recognition that can open all kinds of doors. This often saves you a ton of time and money because you get to skip courses on things you already know how to do. It's also a massive confidence booster to have your skills officially validated. And, on a practical level, it can be the key that finally unlocks that promotion or helps you land a completely new job. All right, so let's say you're interested. What does the journey actually look like? Let's demystify this whole thing and break it down into some simple, practical steps. The entire process is organized into three really straightforward stages. There's consultation, then assessment, and finally certification. It's a clear path from start to finish.
In the first phase, you are not on your own. You'll have a consultation where your skills are looked at, and you'll get guidance on exactly how to prepare for the official assessment. It's all about setting you up for success.
The second phase, that's really the core of the whole process. This is where you actually demonstrate your skills in a practical test. It's your chance to show, not just tell, what you can do. Now, you might be sitting there wondering, okay, but is this really for someone like me? Let's see who the ideal candidates for this are.
Think about your own career path as we look at some of these common profiles. See if any of them sound like you.
The range of people who benefit from RPL is incredibly broad. It could be an adult learner with years of experience under their belt, an employee who's gunning for a promotion, or a skilled worker who's just come back from working overseas with all that valuable international experience. The common thread here is simple. If you've got the skills but you just don't have the formal certificate to prove it, RPL is literally designed for you.
So if you've been nodding along and thinking, yep, that sounds like me, the next question is pretty obvious. What's the first step?
Getting started basically means gathering a few key documents. You're going to need the application form, some photos, your citizenship certificate, and, this is the big one, proof of your work experience. And for anyone who's worked abroad, just make sure you get your relevant documents translated.
So where do you find all this stuff? Your main starting point for this whole journey is the National Skill Testing Board website. You can also visit your provincial offices for the Council for Technical Education and Vocational Training, or CTVT. Both of those places will have all the forms and info you need.
Look, you've spent years building your skills and your knowledge. You've done the work. Now there's a direct path to getting the formal credit you deserve. So the only question left to ask yourself is, what is your experience worth?